Welcome to my virtual yoga studio. My name is Coco, and my adorable dog's name is Carver. You may or may not see him. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hop into something comfy, grab your yoga mat, a towel, or the carpet's fine, and grab whoever you want to practice with today. Some family, siblings, a partner, a friend, and let's make our way to our mat. Let's come into seated position. Now we have multiple choices for the seated position. We can bring the knees directly under us and come into a nice kneeling pose. We can come into easy seated by crossing the legs at the ankle here. We can come into seated with the legs in front of one another. We can bring the legs out to the side. Whatever's comfy here. The only thing I want you to focus on in this moment is just to make sure that the spine is really long. So wherever you're at, root down into the mat and begin to expand the spine all the way from the tail to the crown. Nice. The hands can come to the knees, to the ground, to the thighs, wherever feels comfortable for you. Let's begin our practice today by closing the eyes here. Nice. Just not worrying about anything off of this mat. This next 20 minutes is just about you. Let's begin to notice the ground underneath us, wherever you're seated. Notice the air and the space that you're at. Begin to notice the smells and the sounds around you. And just noticing without any judgment today. My intention for this class is non-judgment. And that includes both yourself and for those around you. So let's just dig into the breath a little bit. We'll inhale through the nose and exhale out through the mouth, making a nice loud noise. Having a nice long spine, inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. And begin here now, just to begin here now to fight for your balance. Notice if you're maybe lean a little bit forward or lean a little bit back. And just try to sit up straight. Maybe by tucking the chin a little bit or maybe bringing the chin a little bit up. Just noticing where the body is without any judgment. Just dropping all of the ideas of what you think yoga should look like and just being here right now on your mat. Beautiful. Keeping the eyes closed and breathing. Let's begin with a little bit of pranayama, some breath work. Now, I want you to bring your hand to your belly and your hand to your chest here. We're going to do a 3-part breath, one of my favorite breathing techniques. And now this breath, we're going to take 3 inhalations without exhaling. So we're thinking about our body as a container. And slowly, in thirds, we're going to fill the container up. First, we're going to fill the belly. Then we're going to fill the ribs. And then we're going to fill the chest. So on an inhale, we're going to first send the breath to the belly. So inhale, don't exhale, send the breath to the belly. Inhale again, send the breath to the ribs. Inhale again, send the breath to the chest. And exhale it all out through the mouth. Beautiful. Let's do it again. Inhale to the belly. Inhale to the ribs. Inhale to the chest. And exhale it all out. Inhale to the belly. Inhale to the ribs. Inhale to the chest. Exhale it out. Belly. Ribs. Chest. Exhale it out. Belly, ribs, chest, exhale it out. Belly, ribs, chest, exhale it out. Continue here. And try not to be forceful, just taking little breaths and filling yourself up. And then exhaling from the chest and the ribs and the belly, just going in reverse order. Inhaling to the belly, inhaling to the ribs, inhaling to the chest, holding the breath, and then pausing, exhaling it all out. 2 more times. The belly, the ribs, the chest. Exhale. Last time. Belly, ribs, chest. Hold it, and exhale it all out. Beautiful. Gently bring the hands down to the knees. Gently begin to blink the eyes open, noticing what's around you. Noticing without any judgment. So maybe you have a cute puppy, or maybe you have other stuff off the mat that you should be worrying about. But for the next 15 minutes, we're just gonna be here. Nice. Now, however you're sitting, I want you to come to easy seated here, Sukhasana, crossing the legs. Now, if your legs were already crossed, whatever ankle was in front, go ahead and switch the ankles. Beautiful. Rooting down into the sit bones and placing the hands onto the knees. We're gonna start to do full body circles. So coming all the way forward, coming around, coming all the way back, rooting down into the sit bones, and making your way nice and slowly around the mat, going clockwise or counterclockwise, just staying with whatever direction you're going at first, making nice big circles. Yes. Feeling all the feels as we begin to integrate not only the hips, but the spine here. Feeling the opening in the side bodies. Feeling the integration in the neck. Just making these nice big circles. 2 more on this side. Yes. Feeling this maybe in the core as you draw your belly button to your spine. Make a complete circle here. And now let's take it to the other side. Rooting down to the sit bones. Getting nice and heavy in the lower body. And then just making full circles here. Yes. And now I don't want you to forget the breath here. So as we're taking these circles, just begin to notice your breathing a little bit more. It's easy to let go of the idea of our breath because we're always doing it. But here on our mat, we want to make sure that we're really being mindful of our breath. Yes. A few more on this side. Beautiful. Finish up that last circle and come all the way back up to easy seated. Now we're going to drop the chin to the chest, feeling a nice long stretch in the back of the neck as we make sure to keep our spine nice and straight and just tucking the chin, bringing the gaze down to the floor. Inhale, bring the chin all the way up to the ceiling. Careful not to crank your head back, but just bringing it to a place that's comfortable where you begin to feel a nice opening in the throat here. Beautiful. Come back to center. And then we're going to take a look over our right shoulder. Feeling nice and long in the side of the neck here. And then we'll take it over to the other side. Being nice and slow, being mindful of our movements here. And doing them without any judgment. So maybe one side is a little bit tighter. Maybe you feel really loose. Just noticing the body and not placing any judgment. We're going to bring the hands out to a tent right next to us. So whatever leg was in front, we'll switch that again. Bringing the hands to the tent. And now this time, we're going to gently roll the chin down to the chest and then slowly roll our ear over to our shoulder. Keeping the hands on the ground, making a little tent, and just trying to keep the shoulders away from the ears here. Slowly, we're going to roll the chin back to center and take it over to the other side, peeling the neck open here. getting a little bit of a deeper stretch. Beautiful. Take it back to center. All right, we're gonna bring the hands out in front of us, really stretch the fingers out, and then we're gonna place the right hand over the left, and then just cross them, cross them, cross them. Reach for the elbows, the biceps, or the shoulders here. Wherever the hands are, begin to walk them up a little bit further till you find your edge. Again, maybe this is a little bit difficult. Maybe this is super easy. Just coming at a place of non-judgment. Yes, just noticing where the body is and breathing into any sensations you have. Drop the chin to the chest here to deepen the stretch slightly. Giving yourself a nice big squeeze, maybe bringing a little bit of movement to it as you shimmy kind of back and forth. Nice. Extend the arms out, reaching them out, wiggling the fingertips, and then reaching for the opposite side, crossing the opposite hand over top. Grabbing for the biceps, the elbows, the shoulders, and then just trying to walk a little bit further along whatever you're reaching for, and then finding your edge, finding the spot where it feels like you can't stretch anymore. Yes, we don't want to hurt ourselves in yoga. We just want to find the sensations in our body and let our body be the one that directs where we're going. So gently drop the chin to the chest, noticing if there's any pain to back off, but also noticing if there's room for a little bit more, then deepening the stretch. Beautiful. One more breath here. And exhale it out. Reach the fingertips up. And we'll reach for the sky here and then slowly rain the fingertips down, coming down to a forward fold. Wherever you're at, dropping the head here. And then just bringing a little bit of fluidity here by rocking side to side, rocking from hip to hip. We're stretching out the hips here. We're stretching out the lower back. We're stretching out the arms and the fingertips to the front of the mat. And we're dropping the head. Breathing and exhaling. Just noticing the body and not placing slowly walk the hands up. Switch the legs again. This will be the last time, don't worry. Root down into the sit bones. Inhale, reach the hands up. And then exhale, rain them forward, bringing the stretch to the opposite leg here, the opposite thigh, as you drop the head. Options are to place a block underneath you, maybe to make double fists. Just finding what works for you in this moment. Not thinking that you should look like me, but knowing that you should just look like you. Dropping the head. Breathing and noticing. Slowly walk the hands back up. Come up to center. And let's bring the legs out long in front of us. Give them a bounce a few times. We were just in the hips, so we want to make sure to release the tension. Nice. Beautiful. We're going to bring the right leg so the foot is on the floor. Carve over here. And then slowly we're going to place the right foot on the opposite side of the left knee. Planting down into the back hand as if it were a second spine behind you. We're going to inhale and either grab the leg here, wrap the arm around the knee, or bring the elbow to the outside of the knee, coming into a nice gentle twist in the back here. Beautiful. Inhaling, rooting down into the sit bones, making sure the spine is nice and long like we were in easy seated. And exhaling, bringing the gaze towards the back of the room. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, twisting. Again, inhale, lengthening, sitting up strong as if someone's pulling your crown up towards the sky. And twisting further, finding your edge here. Beautiful. Exhale, release. Give the legs a nice little bounce again. And then we'll take it to the other side, bending the left knee and then placing it on the outside of the right leg. Options are here to reach around the knee, to grab around the knee, or you can bring the elbow to the outside of the knee. Bringing the back hand behind you, flexing that bottom foot. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, begin to twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Nice. And just feeling the body here. The ribs are twisting, the spine is integrated. We're rooting down into the sit bones in that back hand for stability. We're flexing that bottom foot. We're inhaling, lengthening, and exhale, release out. Nice. Give the legs one more nice little bounce. And then we'll cross the legs here, dive the hands forward, and come into tabletop pose. So wherever you're at, we want to make sure that the hips are directly over the knees and the shoulders are directly over the hands. Now when we get here, we're going to bring our gaze between the hands and we're going to pretend that the belly button and the spine are connected by a string. Pretend that you can, and then tone the belly here as you bring the belly button towards the spine. Finding a nice little bit of core action here as you push away with your fingertips and really protract your shoulders, right? So we're not going down, we're not hunched up like this. We're just in a nice tabletop, nice flat back position. Tops of the feet are on the ground. Beautiful. Inhale, drop the belly, take the gaze up for cat-cow. Looking up towards the ceiling. Exhale, curl the tailbone in. Bring the gaze down towards the hips, making a nice scared cat position. Inhale, drop the belly, take the gaze up. Exhale, cow pose. Pushing away the mat with the palms of the hands. Inhale, drop the belly, take the gaze up. And exhale. Take a couple more on your own, feeling free to be creative here. Not feeling any judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. Maybe you feel like you look a little silly, but you don't. Nice, maybe taking little C bends, maybe coming all the way back to your knees, maybe really rounding up, maybe coming forward, just kind of feeling what feels good, finding what feels good. Beautiful, 2 more rounds here. Dropping the belly, taking the gaze up, and then exhaling cow. Last one, and then meeting in all fours, neutral tabletop. Beautiful. Planting down into the hands as we really spread the fingertips wide. And we're finding a lot of the weight in the L of the hand, right? So we're making sure to put a lot of the pressure right here and along here. So we're feeling nice and strong as our hands are spread out and the tops of our feet are on the ground. On your next inhale, we're gonna reach the right arm forward, fingertips towards the front of the room, thumb up towards the ceiling. Engaging the core here, feeling nice and strong in the belly. Feeling the balance in this pose as we place the weight into our tops of our feet and the hands. One more inhale here, and exhale, set the hand down. Let's take it to the other side, transferring the weight to the right hand. Inhale, lift that left hand out like you're shaking somebody's hand, thumb pointed up, fingertips alive and active. Nice, rooting down to the feet, finding that core strength here as we pull the belly button in towards the spine, push the mat away. Exhale, release the hand down. We're gonna take it to the other side, but this time add on your next inhale, lift the right leg, lift the right arm up, and we're gonna lift the left leg out behind us. Toes are pointed down. We're putting a majority of our weight into our hands and our back foot. feeling the balance work here, maybe feeling a little bit wobbly, but just going with it. Maybe you fall, just get right back up. One more inhale here. Exhale, set the hand and the foot down. We'll take it to the other side. Inhale, reach that left arm forward and kick that right leg out. Now the leg might be maybe a few inches off the ground. Maybe it's slightly hovering. But what we don't want is it way up here. We want the leg just plugged into the hip socket here. So really rooting down in that hand on the ground and the back of the foot. Inhale, lengthen as one long line of energy shoots through us. And exhale, release it down. Bring the knees as wide as the mat, the toes touching, and let's sink back to child's pose. Reaching the hands out forward, placing the forehead onto the ground or a block. And just surrendering to the gravity. Noticing the breath. Maybe walking the hands a little bit forward. Really sinking back in the hips. Maybe just gently rocking the forehead on the mat a few times, massaging out that third eye. And then nothing fancy, but slowly begin to lift the corners of your mouth into a small, tiny smile. Just sink back and acknowledge the work that you just put in. Two more deep breaths here. Beautiful. Slowly coming up to all fours. And coming back to seated pose. Great job here, bringing the hands to Anjali Mudra, to heart center, to acknowledge the balance that you just found. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Namaste.